When I look at your head to start with, there's already pressure in that right foot. You can see your hip. It's moving laterally.
Yes.
And when we move laterally, we can't rotate effectively.
Okay.
Okay, so you essentially you're pushing your hip up that way. We're going to put a fair amount of pressure in this. It'll feel like what you would know as, or previously know as, a reverse pivot. I can assure you it won't be.
Okay.
And in a second, after we do a little bit of work out there, I'll come back and show you that it doesn't look as silly as what it feels. And you've moved a long way off the golf ball.
Yes.
Okay, so if I put one of my elite players in there, they really don't move a great deal.
Okay.
Okay, and if you have a look at any elite player that swings it really nicely, they won't move a great deal at all.
Yeah.
So when you look at this side, so we already know it moves over here, but when you look at this side, it's actually in a really bloody good position. There's a lot to like about that.
I was going to say, that looks better than that.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about that. But because you've moved up and down, now you're going to have to move, up and back, now you're going to have to move down again.
Yeah.
And that's your feeling of dropping into it, your knee drop. It's actually not, it's because it's gone up and back already.
Yes.
That then you've got to get back down there again. And because of this moving so far off here on the right hand screen, that's why you hit it fat. So those two things are associated, you associate as, oh, my knees are dropped into it and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
It's only got to get back to where it started from. So
Okay.
unfortunately that isn't going to work a lot of the time.
No.
Okay?
No.
So we're losing a little bit of energy. We'll talk about this path here. I can't tell you how good that is. All right, that is outstanding.
Oh, okay.
I want to keep that.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is a draw path.
Okay.
But because of what your body did, it won't be hitting the center of the face a lot.
No.
And it won't be, the face will be manipulated a lot, and you will not be able to square that face up. And you'll hit this one here, which is your beautiful high draw.
Yes.
But the others, the club face is pointing way left to target here, but that path is still good. It's almost the same. And that's why that one went left. And then there was some other interesting squirrely ones there before. So there's a bit going on.
Yeah.
Okay. So from my aspect, all I've got to do is stabilise that body a lot more.
Yeah.
Okay. And we won't see you hitting it so high, and we'll see a centred contact, and we won't see you drop kicking it or hitting it fat and those types of things.
Yeah, because every now and then I do hit one and it doesn't go up. It sort of goes sort of a nice low, then gets its height.
Yep.
And it always feels good, obviously.
Yeah. So if I put one of my elite players in here, let's say, and Bill loves this guy, but young Andrew's a player from America and an extraordinarily good ball striker.
Okay.
So he, I've got all this in yards because obviously he works in yards. But when we start looking at these guys and how little they do, so he sets it a little bit more into his left side.
Yeah, you can see how his head doesn't move there.
Absolutely doesn't move. Now that's really strong and stable, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
And then he can unleash the fury on it, essentially.
Yes.
Now, your position at the top is very similar on the left-hand screen there.
Yeah, yeah.
But over here, you can see that these guys are much more centred.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between centre of mass and centre of pressure, right? So there's his centre of mass, but his centre of pressure is there's still probably 60 to 70% there.
Yes.
But to you, it's going to feel like you've got majority of your pressure there because you're not used to that.
No.
Okay.
No, that's
Whereas
right.
at the moment, at the top of your backswing, because you've moved, you've probably got 80 to 90% in here.
Over there, yeah.
And there's nothing pushing on this foot at all.
Yeah, because what I think I'm sort of pivoting, but I'm sort of like
yeah,
that.
yeah, it's laterally moving.
And then, because when I used to slice, I was leading with my hand instead of leading back with my hip first.
Yeah.
Let that unwind me. Yeah.
So that's all we're going to work on today. And then I'll give you a couple of drivers to hit and things like that, and just sort of see how we go.
And I'm horrible at my short game.
Well, if you're
very inconsistent.
If you're moving that much, and it won't stop just because you've got a short club in your hand.
No.
If you're moving that much, it will be a bit of a struggle for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.